Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the homestead. You've been asking a lot of questions how Hope and Henry are doing. Hope is our Jersey milk cow and Henry is the calf that she just had. Henry is 2.5 weeks old now, and all of the problems that both of them were having at the very beginning, Hope had milk fever and Henry had some diarrhea, basically from being separated for a while Hope was down with milk fever. All of those issues have resolved and they are both doing great.
They've really settled into a nice routine. They're inseparable. Everywhere that Hope goes, Henry is just right next to her, not far behind. We've settled into a milking schedule. We've been milking her every evening, and on top of what Henry's taking all day long, she's giving us at least 3 gallons of milk every day.
So that has led us to a family decision. What we've decided to do is pick up a second calf for Hope. We're going to a dairy this morning. We're going to pick up a calf so that Hope can actually raise 2 calves, and that will cut down on a little bit of the milk that we need to take care of as a family every single day, and it'll give us a little more freedom to do other things around the farm.
So we're gonna go get that calf, bring it back to the farm, and then we'll have some time to talk with you guys a little bit more about our decision and what that means for our farm and all of that milk.
We're back home with the calf. Now this calf is about 2.5 weeks old, so I think actually just a day younger than Henry. So this calf is coming from a dairy, but the dairy that we got it from doesn't bottle feed their calves when they take them away from the moms. They actually still allow the moms to come and nurse the cows twice a day. So this calf isn't really a bottle calf. This calf has still been nursing on its mom, but only twice a day. So it's quite a bit smaller than Henry, because Henry nurses on Hope probably 30 times a day. So, but at least we know that this calf is used to actually nursing on a mom cow, and hopefully that means it'll take right to Hope, and hopefully Hope will take right to this calf. So we're gonna let it out. Now this calf is a dairy calf. It's a bull calf, and it's a mix of a bunch of different dairy breeds. So it's not gonna be as, you know, meaty as Henry is, because Henry is half Angus. So this is just a dairy calf. Hello, guy. You want to come out? He's just checking everything out from inside the trailer. Actually, he's pooping. There we go.
While the new calf is settling in, we decided to come into the barn and talk with you guys a little bit about why we decided to get a second calf. It is so windy outside that we decided in here would be a better place for us to talk with you guys.
Like we told you guys earlier, Hope is producing 3 or even maybe a little bit more than 3 gallons a day right now, on top of what Henry is eating. Now that is a ton of milk. It may not sound like 3 gallons doesn't sound like a lot, but you know, 21 gallons a week is a lot of milk. That's a lot of milk. And even though we can feed some of that to some of the other animals, it's still a ton of milk to figure out what to do with day after day after day.
So we decided to get another calf. Jersey cows can easily support 2 calves, and when our family needs milk, we can separate the calves overnight. We can take the milk that we need in the morning and then return the calves to the mom cow, and they can drink the rest of the milk. That's really how lots of families who have a family milk cow handle all of the milk, and it's kind of a win-win. We get the dairy that we need, and then we're raising up 2 beef cows for our family, and we can offer some to our extended family as well.
Right. It's called calf sharing. Basically, we're sharing the milk that the mom produces with 2 calves. And it is a way that traditionally a lot of farmers, especially before refrigeration, would be able to handle the amount of milk that they need for their family. So it is really a win-win. Like Sarah said, it'll give us the opportunity to get whatever milk we need. That might be 3 days a week that we separate the calves overnight and milk. It might be 1 day a week. So it just depends what we have to do with the milk that week. And then it will allow us to raise that much more meat to share with family. Even though this new calf is not a beef breed, isn't a meat breed of cow, he will still be just fine to butcher and process for meat. So it will be good and a good extra source of meat to share with family.
And from what we've heard from many people, growing out a dairy cow for the meat is some of the finest tasting meat out there, especially Jersey meat. Now, Henry is half Jersey, half Angus. That'll be wonderful. The new calf is a cross of several different dairy breeds. So we'll see how he turns out as he grows up. So just like with Henry, this new calf we banded, and we had some questions on our last video when we talked about banding about what that is.
So banding is a way to castrate a male calf. So a male calf, when he still has his testicles, is called a bull. Once you castrate that bull, he becomes a steer. So a bull is an intact male, a steer is a male that's been castrated. So banding is a way to castrate. It basically uses a really strong, really small rubber band. There's a special tool that stretches it out. You're able to put it up above the testicles, let that off, and it'll squeeze, and over time it'll just cut off the blood supply to the testicles, and it castrates them, and life goes on. They actually really aren't fazed by it at all. You know, without putting human emotion into it, you would think that it would hurt really bad, and they don't seem to care one bit. So this new calf, even right after we did it, was running around and playing and chasing the chickens, and so it doesn't seem to faze them at all. So that's what that is. It's a way to castrate them. It's a good thing to do. It'll make the meat better down the road. It'll also make it so that he doesn't want to breed with Hope down the road when he gets older, and so it's just a win-win.
And generally castrating the male animals makes them have a better temperament overall as well. All those hormones aren't raging through them. They're a lot more predictable, less unpredictable, and it's just better all around on the farm. So we have the new calf home. He is doing well. We've banded him, and so we've crossed one hurdle getting him home. So we have a couple other hurdles to cross. We need to introduce him to Hope and Henry just to see how that's going to go. And the main thing we need to accomplish today is to have the new calf nurse from Hope. Whether that means she will allow him to just nurse on her without having to be up here in her milking stand, or if we need to put her up there and kind of lead the calf to her and have him suckle from her udder. It's really going to be an experiment. We've never done this before. We've seen some videos of how to do it, how other people have done it. We're just going to have to figure out what works for us.
We were talking to the person at the dairy that we purchased the calf from, and we had mentioned that we thought we might try to put Hope up in her milking stand and then bring the calf in, and he basically said, first, I wouldn't make it that complicated. He said, what I would do is I would just first let them see each other, maybe through a fence, make sure that there's no aggression there, and if there's no aggression, just let Hope in. And he thinks that basically being such a good mom that she's just going to let this new calf start to nurse, and that we're going to have to do very little to make that happen. So hopefully, ideally, that's the way things will go, and we won't have to intervene much at all. But if that doesn't happen, then we'll have to try up on the milking stand.
Right, so let's go get Hope, bring her up toward this area, let her see the calf, and hopefully do some introductions and just see how that goes.
Now Hope is laying way out on the other side of this pasture, so I'm going to call her. Hopefully she'll come up. It's not milking time and she knows that, so she may just ignore me. Hope! Come on, Hope! Well, that didn't work. She's ignoring me, so I'm going to go see if I can shoo her over this way. Brought you a new baby. See what she does when she sees the new baby for the first time. She sees it. Well, now that she's up here, she can see him. In fact, she's moving to that new baby already. I'm going to try to chase him over this way a little bit and see what'll happen. Well, I think that was quite a greeting. I think she even licked him a couple times, which I think is a good sign. I think I might open this gate and let her in and see what happens. She just definitely didn't show any hostility toward him. Let's open the gate and see what happens. We'll just kind of try to stay out of the way. Hope is letting him nurse. Good sign.
She has to know that it's the other calf because she's licking Henry as the calf was nursing. Let's see if this interaction between the two of them gets any better.
Well, she let him nurse that one time, I think because she was distracted drinking out of the water trough and maybe didn't realize it wasn't Henry, even though Henry was standing in front of her. I don't know. But ever since then, when he tries to nurse, she kind of pushes him away. She hasn't really been aggressive. She just either walks away or pushes him away. So I don't know, it's up in the air yet. We're gonna watch closely for the next few hours. We probably just pull up our lawn chairs and sit out here and see what goes on. But as long as she's not trying to hurt him, I think it's gonna all be okay. And I think eventually she's gonna let him just start nursing. So if that doesn't happen though before milking time tonight, then when we have her up on the stand tonight, we'll bring him in and let him nurse while she's standing on the milking stand. Well, it's only been about 15 more minutes, maybe not even, and now she's letting him nurse again. So I think it's definitely headed in the right direction, and we'll see. We'll just keep watching.
Well, it's been about 30 minutes since we were out before, and at that time, the new calf had just had a really great drink from Hope. Looks like he has settled down for a nap, and so have Hope and Henry, but they are not best friends yet, apparently. But I think we are really off to a great start. Hopefully things will just continue going well. Well, we had gone home for a while just to let these guys settle and to eat some dinner. And now we're back to check on them, and actually now is milking time. But when we came back, things looked pretty good. As you saw, Hope let the new calf nurse off of her. quite a bit, actually. We're really happy with that. But she's still not 100% in love with this new calf. I think it will come over time. But we're gonna milk her at her normal milking time tonight and then leave them in this area, kind of gated up in this front area by the red barn overnight, and we'll check on them again tomorrow and see how things are doing before we let them back out into the pasture. But now we need to milk. It'll be interesting to see if her volume of milk has come down at all since the new calf has been nursing. We'll see if there's been any difference made at all.
You ready, Hope?
Slow down. The stand moved over to this barn is working out really well. We had told you that when we're milking Hope once a day, we're getting 3 gallons or a little bit over 3 gallons. And that's actually just out of her 2 back quarters. A cow's udder is divided into 4 different separate compartments, like 4 breasts basically. And Henry's been really only eating out of the 2 in the front. So we've only been milking the 2 in the back. So the 2 in the back alone are providing 3 gallons once a day. The new calf that when we've been watching him eat, it's exciting because he is eating out of the back 2 teats, and that is where we need the most help. So hopefully this will all work out well, and between the 2 calves, they'll learn how to eat out of all 4 of the quarters so that she's milked out really well every day, even on the days that we don't take some of her milk.
There's your babies. Well, based on how heavy this is, I would say it's still pretty much about the same amount that we've been getting, but we'll see when we get inside and can actually weigh it. Well, I was wrong. We ended up with 2 1/4 gallons of milk, which is about 3/4 of a gallon less than we normally get. So I guess that new calf got quite a bit of milk today. So that's exciting, and that's only with him being here for a few hours. So it looks like it's definitely going to work out. But we're going to come back in the morning, check on everybody again, and we'll bring you guys along for an update in the morning.
Well, it's a chilly morning, guys. It's 40 degrees. Came out to check on the new calf and Henry and Hope, and it looks like they're doing great. One thing we want to watch for this morning is to see if the new calf will feed from Hope. We just need to make sure that he's getting enough to drink, enough to eat, and then we'll just kind of watch them throughout the day. Now, soon though, we need to let Hope out into the pasture so that she has more grass to eat. We just want to watch and make sure that everything's okay before we do that. Let's try to get a little closer and see how they're doing this morning.
Well, I think she is going to enjoy having 2 babies. What do you think, Hope? I think she likes standing in the sun is what she likes right now. Well, it's a few hours later while we were down here doing chores earlier. It was nap time and nobody was up eating, so we went and did our other chores that we needed to get done. We're coming back now to check on them again. I'm hoping they'll get up. We'll be able to see the new calf nurse. I really don't want to turn them out into the big pasture until we actually see him nurse this morning. But Hope is excited to get out there and get eating again. She has a little bit of grass in here, but not a whole lot. So hopefully we'll see some nursing going on here soon and we'll be able to let them back out. Let's see if I can get them up. And a lot of times when they first wake up from a nap, they go and nurse. So let's see what happens. Hi, Henry.
Well, it's pretty obvious that the calves are not hungry. It's another nap time, I guess. But while we've been here observing them, we've seen them both pee and poop. They're both very lively. So we think that things are going well, that they're both doing well, and the new calf has eaten. So we are gonna let Hope out. She's just anxious to get to the grass, and I don't blame her. It's like a buffet out there. So we're gonna let her out, let the calves follow her, and let her enjoy the day out there eating.
All right, Mama, let's go. You ready to go back out? Well, we'll just keep an eye on her the best we can throughout the day, even if she's farther away. We got a lot of work to be doing, so we'll be around this area anyway. I'll just try to watch the best I can and make sure we see both those calves nursing throughout the day. Well, Hope is back out grazing. The calves are both sleeping. We're so excited to have the second calf on the homestead. It's really going to give us a lot more control over our milk supply and how much we keep for ourselves versus how much those calves are going to get.
Henry is growing so well. I know that this new calf is going to do well too. It's going to be awesome having two steers that we're raising up for our family and our extended family.
So that's where we're going to end today's video. You guys, thank you so much for spending time with us on the homestead yesterday and today. Don't forget, if you're not a subscriber yet, hit that subscribe button before you leave. Remember that by sharing our videos, it's the absolute best way that you can help us. It spreads the word that you can live a simpler life in the country and get out of corporate rat race and live an enjoyable life.
Until next time, guys, thanks so much for stopping by our homestead. Take care and God bless.
God bless.